All right, family. So here we are again, and I wanted to come in here real quick and just talk to you guys for a second. Last week has been sort of a very, very, very hectic week, and I do apologize for the absence, but there's a really good reason for it. There certainly is. But let me kind of go through some things with you first, and then we'll kind of get into that. Now, first of all, we're going to be continuing the Flavius Josephus series, the reading of what happened to Jerusalem at the taking of Titus and Vespasian. So we will be continuing that. However, before we get into that, I wanted to go through some things with you really quick, because it is necessary that I kind of go over this with you. All right. Last week, some people know and some people don't know, but my mother passed away last week, Monday, and so I had taken some time out to handle her final affairs and to kind of deal with the loss. So forgive me if I'm not my normal self. I haven't been normal. What is normal anyway? I haven't been normal for a while. However, it's been a while since I've been in here. I did post some things and some stuff just to kind of keep the page active, on the YouTube side and on the Facebook side. So, the one thing I posted, I think it was yesterday, something, I think it was, yes, Austin, the Ace family, Austin McBroom. Okay, so one of my students posted his official video, Giddy Up, on her page, and I had a problem with what I was looking at, and I know that the younger generation does not see through the same lenses that we would see things through. Being a child during the civil rights movement, I saw some things being a child, and so those things directly affect my psyche today. The way that I view things, and the way that I look at things. So when you're a child and you're in the civil rights, 67, 68, 64, 65, in there somewhere. And well, we came to California in 67. So so when you're a kid and you're in this and you see army in the streets with machine guns drawn, and there was a army officer who put a gun in my mother's face, to make her prove that she lived on the street that she said we lived on. And at that time in Michigan, we lived on Glendale. So anybody from Detroit, you know where Glendale is. We lived on Glendale. We lived on Cortland. I went to Longfield Elementary, Longfellow Elementary. Um, and I have very, very short but very lucid memories of that time. That was a very traumatic time in my life, and then soon thereafter we came to California. So, and for the rest of the time I was out here and I grew up out here. It's early in the morning for me, family. It's I've been up since about 5. Um, I had to do some working on the system, which is usual to get this to occur. But I wanted to come in here and let you guys know that I stopped the GoFundMe for Mama, and but we're still going to purchase the generator because there still will be power outages next summer. So we'll still purchase the generator, and we'll still do the unboxing and show you guys what you contributed to. And those of you who contributed, I want to say thank you. Those of you who didn't but wanted to, I want to say thank you. And for those of you who just felt like, I don't know who this guy is, I'm not giving him anything, thank you anyway. So I thank you all, for even your consideration. So Mama passed away last Monday at 2:09 in the afternoon, and she had stopped eating. She stopped eating for me, and I think that what happened for Mama was that I think she figured that if she didn't stop eating, that I wouldn't stop feeding her. And so I think that was kind of her way of just letting go and forcing me to stop because I kept feeding her. And I think she was, had gotten to the place where she was tired of being in the condition she was in and she was ready to get up on out of here. This is, wow, let me do this again. There we go. This is the family when Mama was very young and I was young. And so, actually, I'm a baby in this picture. So, this was a long, long time ago. And this, this picture, does a lot for me because I look at it and I'm going to do something here for you guys because I look at this and the way that I'm setting this up for you right now is to allow you to be able to see, well, three generations. I think I've done this before, but let's do it again now. Okay. 3 generations. Okay. So in this picture is my mother in the pantsuit, standing directly behind her mother, who's in the white hat. And I am in the lap of my grandmother, who is in the white hat. My mother's arm is directly above my head. You can see her arm sticking out of a sleeve there. That's my mama. And she's behind her mother, and I'm laying in my grandmother's lap now, directly to the right of my grandmother, which would be your left if you're viewing this, is my great grandmother, who is the daughter of a slave. And so slavery is not that far away in my family, if you can see or understand what I'm saying. The slavery ended. My great grandmother was a child when slavery was ending. Her parents were slaves. So people think that, they try to treat slavery like it was so long ago. It was not so long ago. And so for a generation who is born right now, they don't understand just how close slavery was to them. Because my children's children, I'm a grandfather now, my children's children will hear this as history like it was so long ago. And it was just a few generations before you, just a few generations back, where slavery was full blown, completely full blown. So, my great grandmother, the daughter of a slave, okay, I just have to put that out there because, I don't want anyone to think that this is something that was so long ago that we can just forget about it. And the majority of politicians and people today will tell us, well, that was so long ago, just let it go. No, listen, we've been here in this captivity for 400 years. Okay, their slavery lasted, for 300 of those years, maybe a little bit more. So there's more time in slavery here in this country than there is during our so-called freedom. And we, my friends, we are still not free. Okay? We're not free. We are still in the land of our captivity. So I said that to say this. For the post that I posted about the Ace family, you see Austin McBroom, who is clearly half Hebrew, I'm going to say it like it is. And when you look at his videos, he and his wife, he's gone outside of the nation. He did not even marry inside the nation. And one thing that society has done, this is why the children look at this through different lenses. One thing that society has done is that they have given them the idea to be able to see the world blended. Okay? When you see the world blended, you don't look back at your nation. Now, here's what I'm saying, and this is what I was trying to explain to someone. I'm not saying that you cannot love who you love, okay? Because you're going to love someone, they may not be of your nation. That's okay. That's okay. But when society holds up a picture, every time you see an advertisement, you see a blended family. Every time you look at television now, you're seeing a blended family. See, there was a time when a man of color could not kiss a woman who was not of color on TV. It was censored. It was forbidden. You could not show a black man and a white woman together, and you better not even show them in bed together, okay? Because society was saying, no, we are separate. We are separate. Now, you were taught by your families. I will say we were taught by our families, and it's still this way today. Listen, if you're a Hispanic and you bring home a black guy, you're going to have an issue when you bring him home. I'm talking about a girl bringing home her boyfriend. You're going to have an issue. You're going to have an issue. They don't play that. Okay? Now, here's the thing. If you were in any of the Latin countries and you were speaking Spanish, you would still have an issue, but it would be a little bit more acceptable. But here in the United States, when they come to the United States, no, they look at it completely different. Okay, and I'll tell you this why, because my stepfather was from El Salvador. Okay, his family accepted us wholly. See, it was a man bringing home a black woman. Okay, it wasn't a woman bringing home a black man. His family wholly accepted us. But they're El Salvadorian. That's different from the American Hispanics. The American Hispanics have a whole different twist on it. You don't bring a black dude home. Don't do it. You know, he will catch hell for the longest time until he's finally accepted. He's just not accepted. Okay, so we were taught you love who you love. Okay, you love who you love. But we did not have marketing agencies and television, radio, print. We didn't have all of that just throwing it blatantly in your face. You can't open a magazine now without seeing a black dude with a white woman. You can't open a magazine now without seeing a white dude with a black woman. Okay, I'm not saying that you can't love who you love. I'm saying that it's being marketed this way and being put in your face. It is actually teaching the children to marry outside of their nation. Okay, to make everyone blend. His name just escaped me. Bernays. Sigmund Freud's nephew created this marketing tactic. It's Bernays. I don't want to say Alexander Bernays. But his last name is Bernays. And they taught us this in college. They taught us that when you walk into a McDonald's, the reason why there's certain colors is to drive your hunger, to make you want certain things. You know, why there's yellows and why there's reds and you know, and these greens. It's certain, they use these colors for a particular reason. There's symbols and things that are placed up there for a particular reason, because before we knew letters and numbers, we knew symbols. Okay, the world used to communicate in glyphs and pictures and pictographs and hieroglyphics, and so there was no letters, is what I'm saying to you. This is, just go back in history and look. So they know that before we knew letters and numbers, and we were symbol literate. There was all about symbols. Okay, so there's a reason why there's stars and circles and squares and things like this, because they know that it goes straight to your subconscious and it wakes up something in you. It colors in the whole night to make you want to eat, to make your children want to eat. Every restaurant you walk into is designed this way. Alexander Bernays, I think it's Alexander Bernays, created this. Sigmund Freud's nephew, and both of them were into the psyche and the psychology of the brain and what drives people. You know, what is if you're in a social situation, sociological situation, what will drive people to make them want to do a particular thing. Okay. And so this was his nephew. So no wonder he got it like that, because look at what his uncle was doing, Sigmund Freud. Um, so they put out this video, and one of my students put it up, and I said to her, if you don't even know to do better, you can't do right. Because you don't know to do better. So this guy, the reason why I say that is because this guy, his father is part of his security team, and he's a Edomite, a Euro Gentile, okay, and his son is half Hebrew. So as I'm watching them, Ace Family, Facebook, YouTube, whatever, as I'm watching them, I see a whole lot of what's going on that side. I said, so where's his black mama? This boy is clearly black. Where's his mama? Why do we not see his mama? Because he was an NCAA basketball player. I mean, is she dead or something? I don't know, because I don't know his history. I'm just finding out about this guy. I don't know. What I'm saying is I just looked at his picture. I saw, okay, here's this black dude. There's a white horse. His wife is on the white horse. I'm like, look at this symbology. Does anybody see what else is going on here? I mean, because, they marketing uses certain techniques and tactics, and they'll march something right across your face, and you'll be looking at it. Oh wow, that's so nice. Look at him wearing all white, and she's on a white horse, and she's pretty, and that. But you don't see the symbolism that they're throwing in your face. You don't understand what it is that they're doing with these marketing ploys. Because they're teaching you and socially engineering you to not see it. I mean, you see this picture, but there's something else going on behind the scene here. You don't understand what it is that they're doing. And since I'm older and I'm trained in this, and I was taught this in college, how they do this, I know that they don't teach the younger generation this. I mean, I look at the people who are coming out of school now. Anybody can come out of school now with a degree. Your education means nothing. They're talking about bringing home economics back to high school. They're talking about bringing civics back to high. See, we had civics. You were taught how to balance your checkbook. You were taught how to do money. You were taught all these things. But the generations who came behind us, they don't know what civics is. They don't know what social studies. Real social study. They don't know what that is, because they stopped teaching that. They started going a whole different way, and now you got Common Core. What the heck is that? So, this guy, I was looking at that, and I was like, see these kids, because he's clearly younger than me. But I'm like, these kids, they have no idea what's really going on. Hold on, family. Hold on. I just dropped a mouse for the other computer. These kids have no idea what's really going on. They have not a clue. And as far as they know, this is just life as normal. They don't have a clue. Where is that? Here it is. I'm sorry. There we go. Had something else going on the other computer, and I wanted to make sure it stayed there. So, but these kids, not to say that your education is worthless, but this is what they do. And we were taught this. We were taught this when I was in college. If I want something, well, let me say it this way. At my age now, if I want the world to be a particular way 25 years from now, when I'm going to be an old man, and I want the world to be a particular way, then I need to teach the children now what I need the world to be, so that 25 years from now, that will be their only thought process, and the world will be that way. So every time you hear them talking about, we're doing this for the babies, we're doing this for the children, it's because they have an agenda in mind that when those children become a certain age and they start to vote, they will be going down a particular line, because they've already been indoctrinated or socially engineered to do that thing that they needed them to do, so that when we get there, this will be in place for us. When we get to that place, when they're that age and they're the ones running the country, these things will be in place for us, because we taught them this is what they need to do. And then they get there and they think this is what we need to do. They don't even realize they've been engineered this way. It's just like I was watching this hit piece on Austin and the Ace Family. and there was a young man there. They make it socially acceptable for men to wear makeup, to look like females in the face, to have their nails done, to look like females, but still call themselves a he. So you look like a female, but you identify to yourself as a he. This is just a costume you're wearing? Because you see, back in the day, when you did this said to everybody else that you were on the other side. You have crossed over. Okay? So, and then today, with the censorship that's going on with the COPA and everything else, we have to be very careful and politically correct when we speak on these issues. So if you hear me talking around it, it's because I don't want my video taken down. But you know what I'm saying. And the thing of it is that the bots don't know what I'm saying. So the bots can't pick it up because I'm speaking around the subject, yet still making it possible for you to understand what I'm saying. If you're walking around here like RuPaul and you got Mandingo between your legs, but you look like RuPaul, that's what I'm saying. You know what I'm talking about. Okay. So anyway, I was just saying that Mama passed, and we are going to continue with life. Man, I have to. I cannot go out of here sideways any old kind of way. I have a friend that uh, his wife died in his arms. I think I told you about him before. His wife died in his arms. His father died in front of him just about a year and a half later. And Chris, I don't know where he is now, but he lost himself in his grief. Now, grieving I am, hurting I am, missing my mama I am, but I'm not going to lose myself. Emotionally, I have an issue, but mentally I do not. Um, I was hooking up the drums back there because I brought everything out of the garage into the house because it's winter time, it's raining outside and things, and it's easier for me to work in here than it is to work out in the garage. So I brought everything in the house, and I have it set up now because Mama's not going through the house with a walker anymore, so I can put some things in different places so she won't have to run into them. But I can tell you, going in her room, I'll just sit on her bed and just take in her scent. And I'm okay with that. But it's other things, little things, you know, like Mama wore these rings on her fingers. Okay, these two little silver rings with turquoise in them. She wore these on her fingers. And so they took them off her fingers, and I had set them on a monitor over there, and I was in here bumping something, some Foreigner or something, Double Vision or something, and I had it cooking really good. And I was sitting here processing. I've started a home business, and I was sitting here doing some processing. And I heard some tink, 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 and I was like, what was that? So I looked over there, and I went looking, and then I saw one of her rings laying, because I left it on the speaker, on the studio monitor. And I heard it go tink, 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 tink. It fell onto the desk, and I picked it up, and then I went looking for the other one. When I had them both in my hand, looking at them, that's when I broke, because I had them. So I said, I'm going to take them, and I'm going to put them on a little chain, because I have quite a few pieces of jewelry. Put them on a chain, and I wear them around my neck. And it was a funny thing for me, because when I put them on, I was sitting here, and I have a big mirror in front of me, and I was, putting them on my neck, and I put them on, and I start cracking up laughing. I said, look at here, Mama, you got your hands around my neck again, you got your fingers right around my neck again, because I can remember, come here, boy, that type of thing. And like I said, Mama didn't raise me, but there was quite a few times when she was in my life, and they were quite eventful, and they were influential, and it's my mama. So I always wanted a relationship with her that she could not have with me. And the reason for that, so women, listen up. If you are women and you have sons, stop being mad at your sons because you're mad at their daddies. Okay? So I look like my father, Mama said. Okay? She used to say that I walk like that MF, I talk like then she said, I can't stand that MF. And I said, but Mama, when are you going to say something good about me? And she was like, get out of my face. Okay? So I always wanted this closer, deeper relationship with my mother, but I couldn't have that because she was stuck in a loop on my dad. And he did some things. You know, Dad, I'm not going to say Dad was an angel. You know, hit it, it's time to get with it. We ain't no angels, so forget about being innocent, right? Dad just had some issues, and him and Mama, you know, butted heads a lot. So when they separated, you know, she loved him. She loved him. But every time she saw me, she hated him. She didn't hate me. I was just a reminder. So it took me a long time to understand that and internalize that and be able to deal with it. Because that affected the type of relationship that she and I could have. And I always wanted a better relationship with my mom. So I'm celebrating my mama and her life. This is when she graduated from nursing school. She got her associates and she went to nursing school. And she became a licensed nurse. And so we were pretty excited about that and proud of that. Going forward, you know, Mama was, let's see, I just got a DSLR, and which is a digital camera, you know, 35 millimeter was what they used to be called, you know, professional photography cameras. But when they became digital, I got one. So I was taking pictures around the house. Mama was sitting in her chair doing a crossword puzzle or doing one of those word search things. And she had baby and Michael. I had just got baby. Well, I had baby, but I just got Michael. And so Michael was a puppy, and he was laying at her feet. As a matter of fact, he was laying on her foot. And she pulled her foot out of her house shoe, and he crawled up into her house shoe and went to sleep. So I was laying on the floor taking a picture of Michael crawling up into her, taking a series of pictures of him as a puppy crawling up into her house shoe, and he went in there because it was warm, you know, and she wouldn't pick him up, and he wanted her to pick him up, so he crawled into her house shoe because it was warm, and I was taking pictures, and so I rolled over on my back, looking up at Mama, and snapped this shot, and so she said, "What'd you do that for?" I said, "I just want a picture of you." So you know, that was kind of interesting, I thought, and then I had let me see, I had my puppy, Samson. When I got Samson, this was like 9 years ago almost. I can't believe it's been that long. It was 7 years ago that it's been that long. But Samson was a puppy. You can see a little cone head in his belly. And he really dug Mama. He was digging on Mama, and Mama was digging on him. They were good friends. You know, he used to always love to go see Granny. So she lived. This is when she lived by herself, and I had to bring her to come live with me. But we were visiting that day, and she was hanging out with the Samp, and he's a good guy. He really was. So then, all the way down to her being hospitalized. I'm skipping over some photos, you guys, because I don't want to go down that road. But this was a day when she was just sleeping, and I was in the hospital with her. This was I want to tell you that she had her episode occurred in March 11th. It was a week of my birthday, and it occurred March 11th, and I was so involved with that you know the birthday went by. I normally don't even remember my birthdays, but because of what happened this particular week, it makes my birthday stand out because it happened the week of my birthday. And normally every year it goes by and someone will say, "Oh, well, happy birthday," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, right," because I forget. You know, after you go so far, you don't even, you know, they don't mean that much to you. And now that I'm in this truth, I don't even celebrate them anymore, and that's, you know, been like the last 6 years. So I wasn't celebrating them much before before then anyway, and so then it just kind of went out the window once I got into the truth. But because Mama's issue happened that week, it kind of stands out for me. And so we went from March until December of this year, and that's kind of how it was. So this was one of the days that she was sleeping, and I had gone over to the hospital that day, and we got her out of bed when she awoke, and I got her dressed and took her outside, and we kind of hung out and chatted. And this is when she wasn't talking anymore at this point. She would just say, yes or no. She wasn't having any conversations. Not anymore, anyway. So we were outside, and I did not have her hat with me, or any of her hats with me, so I put my hat on her, and my hat just happened to have my sunglasses on it. So I didn't want her to be, outside with her head uncovered or whatever. I put her in a nice little dress and took her outside, and she had lost so much weight in this picture because Mama was tipping the scales. She was, how our women get, they big mama, and they can be big mamas. And so she had lost a lot of weight. And so we were outside. I was reading the newspaper to her and reading the comics and the different little stories and things like that. And so I spent a lot of time, at that place with my mother because there was no other family member to do so, and there was no other family member who would do so because I was the only one. I am the only one here in this state, and I am alone now. Okay, so, and no family is coming. I won't allow a family member to come now. I've been alone. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I've been alone with Mama for the past 12, 13 years, and I lived by myself or before that, and now that Mama had been with me for so long, there's a void now. I have to figure out what to do with the void. So someone says get a dog. I have 2 dogs. Go to counseling. I have plenty of people to talk to. I don't need to go to counseling. Plus, I'm a really private guy. I don't want to talk to just anybody about, what I'm going through. But I wanted to come out here and bring that to you guys' attention, let you know Mama passed away, because some of you have been very, very supportive and helpful. And we're going to get back to our Flavius Josephus. I just need to take a little time to process the fact that Mama's no longer here, okay? So I have these mementos, and I found a note. Let me see if I can reach it. That she had written, and I laughed because she used to get in her little chair and go across the street. She'd go across the street, go shopping. And this was, one of her little lists that she had written. I wrote some stuff on it also, but that's because I was thinking about some things. But she had made herself a little list where she needed chapstick, lunch meat, she needed chip dip, she needed toothpaste, and some Mountain Dew. That was her little shopping list. And she was going across the street to grocery outlet and Dollar Tree to go get her little supplies and her provisions. So when I found this, I broke, because that's her handwriting, right? I'm finding these. Oh boy, dude, just come out of nowhere now. Maybe I got up too early. I've been finding these all over the place, And I was saying earlier, and I realized now that I never even finished, I brought the gear in the house from the garage. And that just shows you there's so much going on my mind right now. There's just so much happening in here that it's hard to stay focused on a particular thing because I'm still dealing with her final arrangements and her paperwork and waiting for the insurance insurance company to release the funds for. It's a lot. Okay, if you ever had to deal with, and I went through this with my dad a couple of years ago, if you remember. If you ever had to deal with, the final results or the final arrangements, it's not a quick process. It takes, some days and sometimes some weeks in order to make some things happen. And so, but we're at the final stages of that. We just did the death certificate was finalized yesterday, and so she had wanted to be cremated, and I don't personally believe in sending people through the fire, but those were the final remains. Those are her final wishes, and so and it's already done and paid for. So I have to kind of allow that in order for the beneficiaries to receive what they're supposed to get. I had to think about how I wanted to say that properly. So anyway, that's pretty much that. Oh, no. I was laying on the floor, hooking up the drums, and I have an instrumental track of Stranger in Moscow, and I have the original. And I was listening to the original, and Michael said, when you're alone and you're cold inside, it's like a stranger in Moscow. And I was already on the floor running wire and hooking up, the drums, because you got to, run wire. And I was running wire, hooking up stuff and getting the USB cables and things out. I was on the floor. And when that lyric went by, I was through with money. I was through. I couldn't get off the floor for almost 20 minutes. So the first week was super, super, super hard. I'm in the second week. This is the middle of the second week. And like my friend said, it comes out of nowhere. She lost her husband, and she says to me, I'm good when I'm with people. I'm good when I'm around others. I can be at home and it just comes out of nowhere. The grief. The sobbing, the crying, the pain, it just comes out of nowhere. So I've been experiencing that, because I'll be doing something around the house and it just comes out of nowhere. It just comes out of nowhere. I'll find a note, like, her shopping list, and then I'll break. I had rings, but then there's things that make me laugh too. Mama had to give up her driver's license. She had to give up her driver's license. So I can reach this. And I have her wallet right here. She had to give up her driver's license. So I was going through here because I had to, provide information for certain people about her so I can get her arrangements done. And so I have Mama's driver's license. In her picture she's smiling, and then I have her senior ID card, and in her picture she looks sad. So when seniors lose their independence, when she couldn't drive anymore, she was really sad that she had to surrender her license. And so I said, Mama, don't, I'll take you wherever you want to go. Don't worry about it. It's okay. I got you. I'll take you wherever you want to go. Whatever you want to do, just let me know and I'll take you. Before I go to work or after I get off work, or we'll just take the whole day of my off days and we'll just do what you want to do. Okay? So don't worry about it. So, but she was still sad. And I can see it in this picture, her face. She was sad. Because her license had not expired yet. So you get 5-10 years on your license or something like that. So she was like a year into her license, got revoked because and they gave her a senior citizen ID card. They took away her driver's license and gave her a senior citizen ID card. And the look on her face when I held the two of these together and I looked at them, I broke down and cried right here because I could see that she was sad. Damn it, there I go. Okay. So anyway, then I laughed about it because there was a time, and I remember, I'm sorry y'all, but I remember Mama was driving anyway. I said, Mama, you gangster, you driving dirty. I had to laugh about it, even though looking at these two made me sad. I also realized that she was so defiant. She had not given up yet. I'm gonna drive anyway, and that's how that's how some of our women are, and that's how my mother was, and so I had to laugh about that, even though I'm laughing. The same thing that made me sad made me laugh, So I said it to you guys before, and I'll continue to say it to you again. Advocate for your seniors. Take care of your seniors. Do not abandon them. Do not leave them to other family members. Oh, she lives with my baby brother. He got it. He'll take care of it. No, get up off your butt and you can go handle some of it too. I'm going to tell you straight up, just like this. I was having a conversation with my sister, and I was trying. It's hard to talk when you're crying. It's hard to talk when your emotions are just out there like that. But I had to let her know that I was so angry with her. I was so mad at her because she let 13 years go by and not once did she come visit Mama. She let a whole year go by and Mama being in the hospital in this condition and not once did she show her face. Now, I don't care what you say, I don't care what you do, but it was me using my Facebook Messenger, holding up the phone for you to be able to see your Mama on Facebook. That's what I was doing. So I wasn't talking to her. I wasn't having a whole lot of dealings with my sister. So the phone would ring, she would pick it up, and I'd be holding the phone like this. And it would be her face, and Mama. Hey brother, what you doing? Don't talk to me. Your mama's on the phone. Deal with your mama. Talk to your mama. So I was standing there for an hour just holding the phone. I didn't have a tripod. It was under my own steam, showing you so that you can visit with your mother. So I had to do that because you didn't show up. I am not the heartless brother that everybody makes me out to be. No, I'm showing you. Visit with your mama. Now, I'm not talking to you. We're not having a conversation. This is not about me. This is about you and your mother. Visit. It was just like, if I was in jail and you didn't have to come see me, but you brought my son to me. You and I aren't talking, but my son is here. Bring my son. Okay, we don't have to talk. Just bring my son. So it's the same thing. Your mama's in the hospital bed, and before she ended up in the hospital bed, she had plenty of good years. You never showed up. So I told my sister I was so angry with you. I couldn't even talk to you. I couldn't even look at you. And that was the second very emotional conversation that I had with her because the first emotional conversation I had with her was just about 3 weeks prior to Mama's passing. I was like, I don't understand why you wouldn't help me with Mama. You got to explain to me why you would not help me with Mama. I've been struggling and struggling and struggling, and you have not once reached out to give me any help. She sent me $25. I never got it. She sent it through Facebook Messenger or whatever. I never got it. Really, $25? 13 years, $25 for your mama. So anyway, advocate for your seniors. Be the one to step up. You know, get in your brothers and sisters' faces and make them help you with your parents. You know, you're not the only one, and they throw it all on us when we're the babies. Oh, the baby, you're the last one at home. You take care of it. No, Negro, you need to get into this. If you're the oldest, it's your responsibility. How you expect to inherit everything because you're the oldest, but you don't even want to do anything to get it? I'm living my own life. Okay, live your life. You don't get nothing. I mean, that's the way I think. But anyway, I just wanted to get that off my chest and share with you guys that Mama passed away, and say thank you to all of you who have been helping me throughout the year as I've been going through this ordeal with Mama, and watching and paying attention and seeing that Mama was a little tough sometimes, a little hard to deal with, but I stayed in the game, I stayed in the fight, and I told everybody I'm not leaving. You know, I'm staying in the fight. You know, is all I can do. I'm hanging on, you know, because it's my mama. So that's where I'm at, y'all. And the best thing for me to do was to get my funk back. And so that's what I'm doing to get my funk back, because it's not easy, you know, doing this and being out here on this level and trying to make sure that you know, we stay in this position. It's a tough one. It is a tough one. But it's one that has to be handled. So I would tell you and tell anybody, you know, that don't let anybody get you off your game plan. The goal is not to drop the ball. Do not drop the ball. And so if you don't drop the ball, you can keep your feet moving. You can get into the end zone. And that's my goal, is to keep my feet moving and make it into the end zone. Okay? So, I don't know why this thing is not playing. I've been having issues with it all morning, but whatever. It is what it is. So I'm out of here. And next time we meet, we'll be doing Flavius Josephus, okay?